Welcome to the next episode of the podcast. So, first of all, before we get started here, Kevin was supposed to be here exactly 15 minutes ago. And in his unreliable self, in his, well, he refers to as fashionably
late. Not unreliable. I'm here.
I refer to as habitually unreliable. So we're a little bit late getting started. No big deal to you guys because this releases on every other Tuesday at 6 a.m. anyway. But today we got a fun episode. Kevin is coming in 100% blind, and I got a whole list of questions to ask Kevin because I want to get his unprepared and, due to the nature of our podcast, unedited responses. Okay?
You make it sound like I prepare for these anyway.
Well, sometimes you have constructive research ahead of time.
That's
a
true.
little bit, right? I mean, especially going into some of the topics that we have, you don't come in as
Of course.
totally blind. But this one is clueless. I called Kevin and I was like, dude, I think this is going to be a good one. I got a bunch of questions for you. Just want to see where you're at. They're in no particular order. Some of them are very related to the theme of our general podcast.
Okay.
And others might be stretching to even be tangentially related, but,
Okay.
but it doesn't matter.
Oh.
Okay.
Now I'm excited.
Yeah. So I'm going to start kicking off these questions.
All right.
And question number 1. If you had to have a catchphrase just for you,
Oh, wow.
what would it be?
Wow.
What would it be?
A catchphrase
Yep,
for me.
just for you. You had to, like, something that you were defined by, right? Like, we all know Spider-Man's, with great power comes great responsibility.
It's not his catchphrase.
It's not a catchphrase per se, but it's something that when you hear Spider-Man, you know that's
Sure,
related.
sure,
Uncle Ben
sure.
said it to him, whatever,
Sure.
right? What would your catchphrase or theme quote be?
Late again. Because it's not just a problem with the podcast.
Actually, when you called me and you were like, hey, it is 6:47 right now, PM our time. And Kevin was supposed to be here at 6:30, but he calls me at 6:27 and he goes, I'm basically just leaving my house right now.
I was 2 blocks away, to be fair.
It's like, I'm basically just leaving. And I was like, you son of a bitch. And he goes, you know me, man. I was just like, you son of a gun.
There was an awkward pause, and you're like, all right, and then hung up like you were
I mean,
mad.
what am I going to say?
Yeah.
It's like, just get here. So we
Yeah,
can,
honestly, I can't think of anything else, right? I was trying to think of something. You're late again. That's
Late again.
really the story of my life. I'll be honest.
I think if I had to have one, I think at the gym, I think my
Yeah, sure,
phrase-
Scott. You're right. It's fine.
What?
That would be your theme.
No.
Yeah.
My thing would be, Kevin, you fat piece of shit.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Right? I mean, if anybody,
If it's jujitsu related,
if it's
yes.
jujitsu related, anybody's you're like, what does Scott say more than anything? Kevin, you fat piece of shit. And usually Kevin's in the middle of rolling.
Yeah.
Sometimes even when he does good things, I do give Kevin credit. Okay, so most of the time you guys hear us on the podcast, and I'm kind of mean to Kevin, and
Kind of.
I say things. Well, okay, I'm mean to Kevin, and I say things to Kevin that most people don't say to each other on a regular basis. And
No. You say things that most people don't say on a regular basis.
Got it. Okay.
Right? There's a comma there,
Fair
right?
enough, right? We put a
Yeah.
dramatic pause
Yeah.
there because
No, it's not a dramatic pause.
it
I wanted
really
to make-
means
yeah,
something.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty mean to Kevin at the gym as well. But when Kevin does something good, I do give him credit. He hit this awesome cartwheel sweep a couple weeks back on somebody, and it was beautiful. He rolls well, and I give him the kudos that he deserves mid-roll. But usually, on the heels of something excellent comes the
True.
mighty downfall. So then that's when Kevin, you fat pussy, or you big piece of shit. So anyway.
That actually happened when I hit that. That was a pass, actually. I hit a really nice pass.
It was a cartwheel pass because you popped over his knees and
Oh,
you
that's
came
right,
inside
I did.
control. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
beautiful. We were sitting on the wall watching, and then all of a sudden you were from side control. You ended up, I think, losing. So whatever.
Yeah, losing. It wasn't not swept or anything. I think you just lost all of a sudden.
Yeah, it was
It was pretty bad.
how the mighty have fallen after that nice slick pass into nothing. Okay. Next question.
Okay.
I didn't bring a pen so I could cross these off. So I'll
You're
just
just
have to
going
remember.
down. Top, you should
I'm
be
not.
all right.
I'm not going. They're not in the. I wrote them in an order, but not the real order. That I'm
So they aren't a particular order.
They're not in a particular order. I wrote them in an order, but I'm going to bounce between them.
Okay.
So things that I might care more about than others.
Okay.
If you could identify as an animal, what animal would it be and why?
I would say a mule. right? I always consider myself like or a donkey, and I'll tell you why. I consider myself a pretty hardworking person, but I do shit at my own fucking pace,
Oh my god.
right? So
A mule.
a
You know
mule.
mules can't reproduce either.
Well, that's
So you're just shooting blanks constantly.
unfortunately
You're
that
sterile.
part. Maybe I could say donkey then, because I wish that was true, but it's not.
Well, you are a mule. You're sterile now.
I am now. You're right. So a mule it is.
Mule fits perfectly.
Mule it is. Yeah.
So
I
a
think
mule.
yeah, because usually when you think of a mule or a donkey, right, they're always pulling something heavy and they're moving, but they do shit at their own pace, right? And I think that probably describes me more than anything.
And you fancy yourself a hard worker?
I'm a pretty hard worker, believe it or not.
Not at reading a clock. Maybe from the last podcast I said you had a knack for snacks. Maybe you're hard working at the
I was doing housework
your
all day.
metabolism isn't hard working.
Listen, if as much as I eat, it's working pretty hard just to keep up. I should be like 350. I had ice cream right before we came. That's why I was late.
No fucking doubt in my mind you had ice cream.
I did. It's
No
not a lie.
doubt in my mind.
Did housework all day and
Oh, my Lord.
outside work, and then I had some ice cream. Also, I had to wait for my coffee. I'm gonna have a drink now.
If there were 10 prairie dogs in front of you and they approached you with the mission that you were going to fight all 10 of them at the same time, would you win? And before you answer the would you win question, how would you go about trying to fight 10? Are you familiar with prairie dogs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're little like guinea pig kind of creatures.
Yeah, they stick their heads up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get you.
So 10 of them.
Sure.
Like they banded together
Listen,
and formed.
listen. I'm gonna answer it backwards to what you said.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, because I'd stomp them all. There'd be a lot of kicking and a lot of stomping.
10 of them.
10 of them. Oh, not a doubt. Not a problem. Right? I don't have like the greatest power
I
left
don't-
foot, but I got enough that I can punt one away enough that I could, kick
Have
one
you
away
ever
left
seen
footed.
them move? They're like lightning.
Oh, listen, you forget.
5 of them would
My
jump
feet.
you. 5 with well, that's true. If
They're
you,
small
if
though.
you fought them
They're
barefoot,
small- oh.
they would be like, I'm out. I'm not
I
even
sliced 3 of their throats.
with the wall. You just stand there. Your toes would like the nails would just leap off your skin anyway, and probably just slice them all up.
Just kick real hard and it just throws out.
So
Yeah,
well,
there's a lot of kicking.
so-
Right, a lot of kicking. Obviously, every once in a while, 5 of them might have to pull 2 of them off and like maybe throw them a little bit, and they'd come back, right? So
so
but
you
yeah.
legitimately think like
Oh,
10
yeah.
of them like banded together.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like they fought you one at a time. It was
no,
10 on one.
I got you. Yeah, I think I could take 10 prairie dogs. Not a problem. No, not a problem. It would hurt. I would probably have to go to the hospital emergency room after some stitches and stuff.
Okay.
But I don't think they're taking me down.
So
right?
they're not killing you.
They're not killing me. No.
And they're not winning.
They're not winning. No.
10 prairie dogs.
I think I could take 10 prairie dogs. I mean, the biggest thing I'd have to worry about, as long as they don't bite my Achilles heel, the Achilles tendon, excuse me. It's Achilles heel, yeah. That would be my Achilles heel would be my Achilles tendon. If they bite that tendon, I'm in trouble. I still think I'd be okay on my knees.
I don't know that
but-
prairie dogs are advanced enough in the art of combat that they're just gonna. You know what? I see Kevin. I see this juicy
Well,
morsel
that's-
of snack deliciousness, but I'm going right for the Achilles heel.
Well, that's exactly why I think I have a chance, right? Because all I have to protect against them, they're just biting and scratching at me. So as long as I know where my weakness is and where my biggest concern is, I think I'll be all right.
Are they known for rabies? Because they could play the long game.
Well, the long game is still there. I still think I win the long game, right? Because if they're attacking me, I'm killing those motherfuckers,
Okay.
right?
All right.
So-
So you think 10?
I think 10.
Are we saying? So on a spectrum of like
Mhm.
0 to 10, with 0 being no problem, 10 being like I might lose. Like where does that fall? Your
8.
Really?
Maybe a 7?
You're that confident that you're
Oh,
gonna,
yeah,
like,
yeah. I think I'd win.
You're
yeah.
gonna put the
Oh,
heat on 10
I'm
prairie
gonna,
dogs?
I'm going to put the heat on 10 prairie. I'm not saying it's not going to hurt, right? I might not even walk out of there. I may end up crawling to, you know what I mean? To my car or however, to you as you're on a,
Dude, I
sort of
think
pedestal.
I think 10 prairie dogs fuck you up.
I don't think so.
I do.
I really don't. I don't.
Dude, they're
I don't
the-
know anything about prairie dogs besides they look really cool and
They're the little ninjas of the desert, I think, aren't they?
I don't know. Listen, all I know about
Of
prairie,
the prairie,
dogs.
sorry.
Yeah.
Not the desert, the prairie. Dude, they're
Listen,
definitely
there's them and then a little house. I'm not worried about either one of those.
Laura Ingalls Wilder would disagree. Okay. All right. So
Whoever
move-
the dad was kind of manly.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
he
yeah.
could take me for sure.
Was that Michael Landon?
oh
Highway to
yeah.
Heaven?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Right?
Nice call.
Anyway. All right. So I'm calling shenanigans on you fucking 10 prairie dogs up. I do probably agree that you'd win,
I
to
win.
be fair.
I'm not saying
I don't
fucking-
think
I mean-
you fuck him up, though.
Oh, look, I'm gonna kill him. That's why I put it at an 8.
Okay.
8 being, I'm sorry, you from a difficulty standard, right? You said 0 was
Yeah,
no
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
10 was I might
10's
lose.
it's rough.
8. It's gonna be rough,
All right. So you're
right?
gonna
But
have
I don't
a
think I'm
challenge.
gonna be a chance of losing. right? Like, I think I'm going to be winning the whole time. It's going to be the exact opposite of jiu-jitsu where I'm losing most of the time and somehow I win, right? It's going to be the exact opposite.
That
Like,
makes
I'm going to be
sense.
the favorite the whole time. There's still a chance.
I'm still betting against you.
I don't blame you.
I'm betting against you.
I would too, but I still think I could take him.
So continuing on in a similar vein, if aliens visited,
Okay.
an alien race landed, and the only thing they landed for was to fight you. Okay, I'm not telling you anything about these
Okay.
aliens,
Yeah.
right? I didn't get that far in the question.
Mhm.
And they wanted to fight you. How do you think you would approach fighting an alien race? Like not the whole race, but like one alien came down off of the ship or like transformed into whatever, and he's ready to throw down. And he looks at you and he goes, "You fat bitch, we're fighting." How would you go about attacking this alien? Like, because you don't know nothing about it. Like it lands in your backyard on a Tuesday evening.
I'm
'cause
assuming
God
guns
knows you're
are
not
out.
a jujitsu.
I'm assuming guns are out of this.
You don't
play,
have
right?
any guns at home,
Okay.
so
No, you're
it's in your backyard, and the alien lands, and it's like, dude, I'm gonna fuck you up. Well, how do you start? Like, what do you do?
I look for like a shovel or something long. Like
So
I can
you-
use like a spear,
So
right?
you go
Honestly,
to weaponry.
yeah, I gotta go
Okay.
to weaponry, right? I'm
Okay.
not. I don't. You don't know what these things are, right? I don't know how strong they are, right? I don't know how many hands they have. All
Do
of
you
them.
feel like hand-to-hand combat would be like a poor strategy?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, maybe, right? I mean, I have no idea. So I don't want to
So
go
when
hand
I
to
ask you
hand.
that question, what type of alien do you envision having to fight?
I'm honestly thinking.
We thinking like Independence Day?
No, I was actually thinking more like '90s, like
like
green guy
Mars
with, like,
Attacks.
yeah, but like taller, a little like a little flabbier, like forearms. I went really goofy, like
Okay, all right.
cartoon sci-fi kind of thing.
I gotcha.
I wish I could explain it a little
You
bit
thinking
better.
like Mortal Kombat's Goro of some kind, or
No, like that, but like small and squishy. Like mix that with
like
the
Gumby?
no. Mix Goro, but with the alien drawings that everybody you always
the
see on
gray,
the news.
the gray
yeah,
man,
yeah,
the
yeah,
gray,
like,
yeah.
Like,
Okay,
but with like forearms like Goro. That's kind of what popped in my head
okay.
for some reason.
You
I don't
think
know
you'd
why.
win?
I don't know. I'm gonna 50-50, right? Is there a shovel close? I think I can do all right with a shovel because
I
I can use like a
It's
spear to
your
keep it away from me.
backyard.
Yeah.
So think of what's available in your backyard.
Oh
Currently.
yeah. There's always a shovel on the ground. I never clean up.
Talk about unreliable.
No, it's reliable. It's there. I'm going to be using it tomorrow. Actually, I usually put them against.
Do you have a pool? Did you try to like get it into the water and drown it at all?
No.
You're afraid.
Yeah, oh, yeah. What if he's stronger than I am? All he's got to do is hold me under, right?
But how do you know if it's a water creature or not?
I don't know, right? I mean, this could be
Well,
signs.
what if it
like
is
maybe
like
I'll just
what if it is like the apex predator on land, and if you could get it into the water?
what if it's like one of those killer sharks from the '90s cartoons? I'm not dealing with that. I am not.
Didn't you dated a chick who looked like one of those sharks? Remember that those
No.
four? Remember those four sharks?
I do remember the four
And-
sharks.
and
I never
they had
dated
those real rough teeth.
I never
And
dated a
some
girl who had
chick-
rough
oh,
teeth. I may have maybe had a conversation with a girl or two that had rough teeth.
I don't know.
But
Maybe not dated. You went to her prom. Somebody broke his leg, and she like.
Ooh. Ooh.
I'm right. He knows I'm right. Anyway,
I don't think her teeth were that rough. She
Well,
was like,
topic for a different day.
we didn't date. I went to her prom. How was I going to do? Say no?
He went to her prom, and thank the Lord that one of her friends broke his leg, and Kevin ended up getting ditched. Right?
No,
Like, entirely ditched.
not entirely ditched. No, but
She wasn't interested in you anymore after her friend broke.
no,
his
no,
leg.
no, no. It just gave me like we were having the conversation where I wasn't interested in her,
Mm,
and we laid it out, and she was not happy, of course,
okay.
because I'm a catch. So it was that awkward moment where you're like, what do we do next? Boom, dude's got his leg broken. I owe that guy a beer.
You owe that guy a beer. He might
Yeah.
have a wheelchair in it, but whatever.
Made the rest of the night bearable,
Mm,
just because I didn't know anybody else there either. That was the problem.
right. You went to
Right.
like a stranger's
Yeah,
prom.
I was far away. Not far
Oh.
away, but 45 minutes away, 30 minutes away.
Yeah, too far.
Yeah.
Anyway, she looked like one of them sharks. I can't remember what that cartoon was. What was it called?
I can't remember
Shark?
either. I don't know.
I thought I had the theme song in my head for a second. Anyway, all right, moving on.
So 50-50 on an alien.
50-50
I'm going to say
on- okay.
50-50 for me.
All right. This question came up as a interview question at a huge conglomerate bank for a very high level vice president. And you're going to chuckle when you hear it, but it's a very interesting question. Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? And why?
Hmm.
One horse-sized duck
100 duck-sized horses.
Okay.
I'm going to go
Okay.
100 duck-sized horses. So I think about a horse,
But
right?
you know that shit is measured in horsepower. So 100 fucking horses, like,
So hold on.
even though they're duck sized,
So here's the problem, right? I mean, let's think about a
dude,
horse.
and first of all, one horse would fuck you up.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm getting at. So one gigantic horse.
No. One normal sized horse.
That's gigantic. Have you ever seen a normal sized horse? They're
all
big
right.
motherfuckers.
They're huge.
Right? They're gigantic.
Correct.
They're and again, I don't know how much muscle a duck has,
Mhm.
but I'm going to assume it's going to have, let's say it has 60% of the muscle that a horse normally does, right? A skinny horse is going to fuck me up, right? So
But 100 like duck sized horses?
they're smaller. I'm going to have a better chance.
Together.
I'm going to have a better chance. I feel like I'm going to have a better chance. I think
You
maybe
don't
a
think
tool.
just having one larger opponent would be a little bit more manageable?
I think
How the fuck are you going to deal with 100 things?
I'm going back to the shovel, actually, is what I'm thinking. I'm just going to like a sweeping attack. I'll be honest, that's what popped into my head was like, if I get that shovel still from the alien attack.
Oh.
Because maybe that's the alien is horse ducks. So I'm going to go, if I'm going to guess, I'm just going to go, I'm going to have to go. And I think it's because one step at a time, right? Bit by bit, right?
Okay.
The whole, any kind of the motivation thing. I don't know if I can deal with a gigantic
One step at a time.
Yeah.
One
horse duck at a time.
horse, one duck,
Duck horse, I don't know,
whatever
whatever it is,
you
yeah.
want to call it.
Mini horse.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's what I would go with. I don't think if I think of a horse, I think of a duck horse is going to be again 60% of a horse. I don't think I can beat up a malnourished horse, to be honest. Like if for some reason
But
it's trying to fight me.
remember, it's not like the one that you're fighting is just a single horse-sized duck.
That's a big duck, man. I just don't know.
Listen,
I don't.
What attacks do ducks have?
I don't know.
Like, they
that
don't
beak. They. You ever see him go after fish? I would just be a quick fish. It would just eat the shit out of me.
Now, if you guys were in the water, I probably wouldn't suggest that you fight the single duck.
He's gonna be up tall. It's just gonna peck down at me. Oh yeah, no.
You don't think you could get it?
100 of them? 100.
You couldn't ride it? I'd pick the one duck, the horse-sized duck.
No, you couldn't rock it.
Oh.
I couldn't get behind the thing to ride it.
With one shovel, no problem.
No
problem.
Okay, no.
It doesn't. It has wings. It doesn't even have like things that it can hit you with.
Listen.
It's got a
Now,
bill.
now, hold on.
It's going to hit you
Hold
with
on.
its bill, and that's it.
Let me tell you something. I have never. Now I know they're different animals than ducks, but they're pretty similar. Have you ever seen a goose attack someone?
Not afraid of a goose.
Oh.
Are you afraid of a goose? A single goose.
I'm nervous.
If I ask the question,
I'm nervous about a goose. I wouldn't say I'm afraid
Get
of a
the
goose. I'm
fuck
nervous
outta
about a
here.
goose. Oh yeah. So I'm
What
not
are
dealing
you
with a
nervous
gigantic.
about?
You've never seen them videos. That's why you just skip past them. Looking for
Bro,
your
you just
TikTok
told me
girls.
that you'd have a rough time with 10 prairie dogs.
Yeah.
So now you're not going to have a rough time with
Oh,
fucking
oh,
100
oh, 10.
duck-sized horses?
10 if you want to ask that question.
Are you winning?
10. Right? I think I can win. I
Interesting.
think I can. I don't think 11 if you ask me about the horse-sized duck. Maybe a 13.
I think I
I'd
beat
ride
the
it at 13.
I think I beat the horse-sized duck. I really do.
A better man than I.
Nope, I think I could take it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with the little horses. But I would just sprinkle some salt on the ground. They'd be distracted.
A little delicate.
I got
That's
ideas.
like, isn't that like
I know
literally?
more about horses.
Isn't that literally 10 times worse than the 10 prairie dogs with 100 duck-sized horses?
They're faster too, like the prairie dogs.
Yeah,
Well, are they? I don't know.
I don't know.
Prairie dogs are. I mean,
Horses are fast.
Yeah. But horses
But
are fat because they're big.
Horses are not known as the ninjas of their
True.
their area, right? Like prairie dogs, I feel like.
I feel like
They're
prairie
like
dogs could like
sleepers.
climb and stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
if I got
yeah.
up, maybe I could get on
Because
top.
I don't
of
think a horse is like climbing up your back and shit.
Yeah, like I can
scratching
get on
you.
like a picnic table or something, and I think maybe start to strategize a little bit more.
They're pretty strong. You think you could ride a duck-sized horse? Like take one as your prisoner and like force it into slavery?
Could I take it as my prisoner? No. If you took it as your prisoner because you could beat a duck-sized horse, then I could ride it after the fact, sure. But someone else would have to tame that thing. I'm dealing with the little horses.
Okay, I gotcha.
For sure. Yeah, I honestly think I would get somewhere. I was semi-safe, right? I could be up somewhere and I could start to think about it. I just take out the problem one at a time.
Okay.
Maybe two at a time, right? If I got
But what if like all the horses like circle you and like they're not coming one at a time. They're coming 100 on one.
Oh
at
no,
one
no, no,
time.
no. I get you. I have to.
Like you don't think you're losing? I think you're losing.
Again, 10. We've
Dude,
talked
you
about it.
get
1 through
fucked
10.
up by one dude at jujitsu. How the fuck are 100 horses going
But
to
they're small.
wreck you?
Ducks are small. They're lower than my shin. I mean, the neck.
Yeah, but there's 100 of them.
Yeah, I know. I feel like it's going to be the best chance. I don't think I'm winning either one of them. Going to be honest. Like, I'm going to be the betting underdog for sure. But I think I give myself the better chance if I think I can.
Okay.
I think you know what I mean. And I think I can get somewhere semi-safe, right, and start picking them off. That would be my plan.
I get it.
And that's why. Maybe it's just because I think I have a plan to deal with the small horses. I can't think of besides like
but
a spear.
Isn't it easier to plan against the one big horse-sized duck?
No, I mean I can't
It's
think
only
of it.
one thing you have to focus on.
Yeah, but I don't think I can't think of a
You
successful
couldn't
plan.
get here on time. How are you going to fucking fight 100 duck-sized horses?
I'll probably be late to the fight, so they'll be bored. They'll be tired.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'd be
Okay, moving on. Imagine there's a movie. This one's a little risque. Okay, I just want to put this out there. It's a little risque.
a little risque. You've already had me slaughtering different animals.
Fine, yeah. Well, this one's
This
a little
is not
more
vegan friendly, guys. Sorry.
No, this is not. Imagine there's a movie about your sex life.
Mhm.
Okay, what would the title be? And what do you think they would like? How would the trailer go?
So, of course, I wanted to jump to done in 60 seconds. Right? As soon as she said sex life. Like, so that's all I could think of. You know what? You know what? Actually, you know what? So we talked about it. You know, maybe the ladies that I've maybe talked to in the past haven't been so great.
The shark face.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna go with Monster Squad.
Oh. Oh.
So it would actually go just like Monster Squad. Remember, like the lead one. Let's the
Okay. Right.
shark face.
Yeah,
we'll call her
shark
right.
face.
She would awaken the other ones.
So she's like Dracula and
Yeah,
then the other ones together.
Yeah, like Monster. Yeah, she
Monster
would be-
Squad was phenomenal. By
It
the
was.
way.
Yes, Wolfman has nards.
Wolfman's has got nards, and kick him in the nards. What?
Way to
Wolfman-
go, fat kid!
Kick him in the nards. Whoopsh. Wolfman's got nards.
He doesn't have any nards. Just do it. It's great.
Remember, I can't remember the dude's name. He was the real cool one. Remember, he made that bully eat the Snickers that he stomped on the
Oh
ground. and he was gonna make the
yeah,
fat kid eat?
yeah.
He goes,
Fat
"Eat
kid.
it, fat kid, eat it." And Rudy, and then
Yeah.
Rudy rolls up, and Rudy goes, "What's going on here?" He goes, "Eat it, eat it." And he goes, "No, Rudy, I'm not gonna eat it, eat it." And then I can't remember. He's a moderately popular actor who ended up eating it. He was a kid at the time.
Oh yeah.
And he anyway, he eats that Snickers after he stomped it into the floor to make the fat kid eat it.
Wasn't he the one from? He was the older brother from Wonder Years, wasn't he?
Yes, exactly. You're exactly.
I don't know his
right.
name. I
Yeah,
don't
me
know if he
neither.
was that big of an actor after Wonder Years, was he?
He probably wasn't,
Yeah, he probably had a couple of bit roles,
Yeah.
and then
but he was. I mean,
Yeah. that might have been one of the bit roles he had after
Yeah.
Wonder Years. I don't remember I don't know when each one came out.
remember when the main character's sister was gonna like read the incantation?
Oh, yeah, she wasn't a virgin?
She wasn't a virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a virgin? I remember the first time I saw that, I didn't know what a
Like,
virgin was.
she's saying it. She's like saying the
Mhm.
the inscription or whatever, and she's holding the amulet in her hand. And like that's the first time in my life I ever heard the word amulet used.
Yeah.
By the way.
Might be the only time I've
Yeah,
ever heard.
so she's like reading the thing, and old scary German guy,
Mhm.
right, is like helping her out.
That's what they called him,
That's what
too.
they called him, old scary German guy. And he's like helping her out, and she's reading it, and nothing's happening. And the other guy's like, "You're not a virgin." And she anyway.
What do
so-
I tell mom?
Yeah, they
It was
get the
great.
they get the little girl to do
Yeah,
it, and
yeah,
then she's like, "No, Frank," because he starts like flying
Oh,
into a
yeah,
black
yeah.
hole.
Oh.
Frank.
Now I'm gonna tear up. That was so
That's
sad.
emotional.
It was. It was.
So-
Did you, has Kai seen it?
We have watched Monster Squad on multiple occasions.
Gotcha.
Happens to be one of my favorite movies.
I like it.
Like really, really good. Big fan.
I also made my children watch it as well. So.
Of course.
I actually
naturally.
fell
If
asleep
you guys
during it.
haven't made your kids watch Monster Squad.
You're
Shame on
terrible
you.
parents.
Yeah, you're terrible parents.
Yeah.
It's really good. And scary German guys.
Yeah,
They're pretty awesome.
Kicking Wolfman on the nards.
Yeah. Well, he didn't. Fat kid did.
No,
it.
just in general.
Yeah,
I meant that scene.
Wolfman's got ours. Yeah.
Yeah.
When Rune fought in his last MMA fight, because we have the mummy as our logo. We had one of the other guys at the gym draw like Wolfman and Dracula, and I think somebody else. I can't remember who the fourth one was in the drawing. And at the bottom it said Wolfman's got nards. It was kind of sweet. So anyway, all right, moving on to the next question.
What was the original question?
About your movie.
Oh yeah,
your sex movie.
my sex movie, Monster
Yeah,
Squad.
Monster Squad. That's how we got on the Monster Squad topic.
That was way
Although
better.
I did like Done in 60 Seconds too.
Yeah.
Like that's a really good one too. Mine would have probably been 7 Years a Slave.
You are.
You never know. Anyway.
You do like a domination.
So, okay, a little more apropos topic. if you could have dinner with 3 MMA and or jiu-jitsu people just to have dinner and like pick their brain and shoot the shit with them, who would it be?
Ooh.
And I lumped in MMA too because I know you have a lot of fights and you were a fan of MMA and you still are, and you know, just lumping that together. I probably wouldn't, if you were to give me that question, wouldn't even have a single MMA person in my list.
Yeah.
And if I did, it would be Kenny Florian because he was my favorite
Sure.
fighter and he's a jiu-jitsu black belt and he's really good. But this is your question.
So the first one, so 3, right?
Yeah, 3.
So the first one, I'm going to go MMA. I'm going to go Nick Diaz.
Ooh,
So Nick
why?
Diaz was my first favorite fighter, right, ever. Like when I first got into fighting, I saw him and I was a big fan of him.
Okay.
So, you know, there's that nostalgia part of it, right? The first guy ever. Like,
yeah.
also, 2, and he's a little bit of a loose cannon. A little nuts.
You like that kind of
Well,
like,
I don't know. In a one-on-one setting, in a cordial setting, I'd like to know what he's really like.
seems like
Really
a wild
pick his
card to
brain.
me.
Yeah, no, I think it would be a little scary, right?
Well,
You'd be worried not to say the wrong thing, but I think
He's probably a really nice guy.
yeah, he's probably super nice. He's probably super knowledgeable. We start talking about jujitsu, like he seems like the kind of guy that would be
Yeah.
like, "Well, let me show you something," right?
I mean,
start
I
talking
said
about that.
dinner, right? I didn't say like you guys are hanging out.
He's
At the,
also nuts,
at
so
the- that's
I
true.
could see us rolling in the
point.
middle of a, you know,
fair point.
So I'm gonna go with him 1 again. That's from a nostalgia
I
kind
like
of
that.
thing.
What else? 2 more.
2 more. I'm trying to.
MMA or jiu-jitsu.
So I got 2.
Alive or dead?
Oh, yeah, I got you. I got
Just
2.
open
I'm
it.
trying to decide between.
Okay.
Right. Both Gracies. Right.
Ooh,
So-
interesting. Okay.
So I think either, I'll say Hickson. So I was going to say
Hmm.
Roy Hoyce or.
Is this so you can call him on and find out if he's truly 400 and nothing?
No. He actually seems like some of the interviews I see him and stuff like that. He seems like a interesting fella, right? He seems more down to earth. Yeah, down to earth
Okay.
than Hoyce. Like Hoyce kind of seems, if I'm honest, Hoyce kind of seems like he was a prick. Not in a bad way, but like real cocky, maybe a chip on his
Mhm.
shoulder. Where Hickson, again, maybe just the interviews that I've seen him, he seems
Well,
more
Hoyce
mellow.
did have a chip on his shoulder because when he jumped into the MMA, the family made him do it because he was the worst one.
Oh, fair enough.
So
yeah.
he does
So,
get a
yeah.
chip.
No,
But he started.
sure. That's
all
why
of
I
it.
couldn't, between the 2. So I'm going to go with Hickson, right? Because of the
Okay, so Nate Diaz and
ambience.
Hickson.
Nick, not Nate.
Sorry, Nick. Sorry.
Yeah. I
Nick
do like
Diaz.
Nate, but
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
Nick. Nick is.
Did you say Nick or did you say Nate?
I said Nick.
Okay.
Oh,
Anyway.
Yeah.
So Nick Diaz.
Yeah, Nick
So
Diaz.
I flashed Nate in my head when you
Gotcha.
were saying that, but okay.
No.
So Nick Diaz and
Mhm.
Hickson. So what do you want to talk to Hickson about?
I want to just hear the guy talk. Right. Honestly, I just like
Like
to hear
sing you a song?
like
what do you
anything.
mean?
I mean, I like to just
What do
hear
you want him to talk about?
life, jujitsu, like
you
philosophy.
you think him and Nick Diaz would throw down? Who do you think would win?
Oh, ooh.
Nick
Nick.
Diaz? Just
think-
younger
yeah.
and a little more spry.
Yeah. I just
But
more,
Hickson is the GOAT.
more well-rounded, right? Again, different eras. It's not really fair. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
So
Number
I'm
3.
struggling with a third. It's probably gonna have to be an MMA person.
Why? Not
Not
Gordon, not somebody who's like
I mean, Gordon's cool.
tearing up the
No, I mean, I
competition
just
scene?
I don't have that kind of like, ooh, this is someone you know what I mean? Like I don't have that same excitement
Gotcha.
for a lot of the
Okay.
jiu-jitsu guys. I mean, there's probably a lot of cool guys. It would be cool to meet, obviously, Gordon, and a few others. I don't know. This is really tough for the third one, right? Because there's a lot of other guys that.
You virtually have an unlimited option.
Well, I
Yeah.
got to pick the right one,
Alive
right?
or dead.
Right. So
Do
I mean,
you? I asked you fucking 3 people to go
well,
have
I
dinner
mean,
with. I'm not
Emelianenko.
asking you to, like sign your life
Emelianenko would
over.
really be cool. Actually,
Fedor,
I'm,
okay.
I'm kind of mad. Actually, I was going to ask you about it. Totally different. I don't know if you know this, but Dan Severn is actually in Mentor, Ohio today at Griffin Roll. They're actually doing a seminar, and they had
Oh,
a meet
sweet.
and greet last night
Why didn't
at
we
one
go
of the
to it?
bars and stuff like that. I was going to, and I was
Mhm.
actually going to I was going to ask you. I didn't know if you'd be interested because Dan Severn, like he's a legend, but it's also Dan Severn. It's not like a real big jiu-jitsu guy,
That's
even though he's
fine.
done a lot.
How about-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he would be really
we
cool.
waited in a line for 2.5 hours to go see Chuck Liddell.
That's true. I think the wait in line was better than to meet. I mean, he was fine to meet,
Yeah,
but it was
yeah,
like 10
yeah.
seconds
Yeah.
worth of time. I think waiting in the line was better.
Well, the end was.
I'm gonna
great.
go with
When you asked
Emelianenko,
Chuck to punch
right?
you in the face. I mean, that was
well, fakely.
that was gold.
That was
There's a video online of it, and in the
Anymore.
background, it's "Damn, it feels good to be a gangster" playing while Chuck lights
What-
you up.
again, for everybody who knows, at the end of this, he didn't actually hit me. He went really, really slow, and then we just put the video in slow
We might have
motion.
told this story on the podcast before, but I
We
might
might
as well
have.
tell it again because it's great.
Well, it's the book
So we
signing.
yeah
that's
we
the
waited,
best part about it.
Yeah, we go to the book signing and we're waiting in line, and like we're at a bookstore, I think a Borders bookstore, and we
Yeah.
were
Or Barnes and Noble, one of
Barnes
the
and
other.
Noble, one of the
think it was
two.
Barnes and
Anyway,
Noble.
Chuck was on the second floor.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
waiting on the first floor, and you had to go, like, there was a long line. There were hundreds and hundreds
Oh, it was
of people
huge.
there.
Even people, that was,
Yeah.
it was packed, and I think some of them
And this
left
was
to
when
wait in
Chuck
line.
was in his prime, too. So
Oh, yeah, he
there
was still champion.
there was a lot of people
Right
there.
after his book
Yeah,
released.
and first of all, his book was really great. The Iceman, great book. I still, actually, I don't. I think that motherfucker Mike Mello might still have my book signed to me.
I have my signed book still.
I don't. I gotta look.
Do you
for
remember
it.
how I got my book signed? This is the best part about the story to me.
Yeah, of course I remember how you got your book signed. That's the whole fucking point
Oh,
of the
okay, I
story.
was making sure.
What the fuck do you think I'm telling the
I
story
have no
for?
idea. I was just making
Jesus
sure.
Christ!
Keep going.
So we roll up, and we're in line to meet Chuck, and we're getting close. And Kevin looks over at me. He goes, "I think I'm gonna ask him to punch me in the face."
I did say that.
He's like, "I think I'm gonna ask Chuck to punch me in the face," and I'm like, "I'm game, right?" So we get up there, and I can't remember if Chuck did the thing first or if he signed my book first, but
You
either
signed
way,
your book first.
either way. And then Kevin gets up to Chuck and he goes, "Hey, like, can you punch me in the face?" So Chuck, in disbelief, looks at me,
Yeah.
and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
"Sure, do it."
And I had to explain to him that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean hard.
He goes, he's like, "I don't really mean hard." He's like, I filmed it. Right?
Yeah, I
So
was like,
it's
he's
on-
gonna record
it's
it. I was like, we're
currently
gonna
on
slow it down
YouTube.
so it looks like it's no. I had you take it off.
I don't think you did.
Yeah, I did for sure.
I'm pretty confident I ignored you,
Oh,
and
God.
I think it's still up. I'm pretty sure that
When
8 people have viewed you getting punched by
When
Chuck Liddell.
when I was interviewing for a couple of jobs, if you Googled, that was like the second thing that popped up.
So anyway, Chuck looks at me. I give him, the head nod, the go ahead, and I'm like, whatever, right? So Chuck ends up cocking back, and he hits Kevin pretty soft. But Kevin, in his infinite showmanship, hits the floor like Chuck just
Hard.
knocked him out. And in the video, I'll never forget this. Like, Chuck looked dumbfounded. So then,
This big
rewind.
idiot.
I can't remember if Chuck signed his book first or signed his book after, but what did
He
you write
signed-
in your book?
He signed my book first, so he wrote "To the sexiest man alive," Chuck Liddell. So, but there's a comma, so I'm the sexiest man alive according to Chuck Liddell.
According to Chuck Liddell. So anyway, it was
Yeah.
a very fun evening, and the people around us in the line were great too.
The best
We
part
had a
of
fun time.
Oh yeah, the best part was the idea. What happened? The reason how I got him to sign that is there was a woman there who was kind of running the operation,
Mm.
and as we got closer, she said, "Hey, to make things go faster, if you want a special signature, to somebody, we're gonna write it on a Post-it note, and you can just hand it to him, and then you don't have to explain it to
Right,
him or
right,
how to
right,
spell
right.
anything." And I was, "Oh, that makes sense." So I looked at the lady because we were joking around with her a bunch, and I was
Yeah.
like,
She
"To
was
the
very
se-"
friendly.
And I was like, "To the sexiest man alive." And she looked at me and she chuckled. She goes, "Really?" And I went, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I was joking
Yeah,
at first.
matter of fact.
And so it's funny because Chuck looked
She
at the
was
book.
hot too, wasn't
She was.
she?
Yeah,
I
she
thought
was. She was a little older, but she was
yeah,
attractive.
Yeah. We were 20s.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah. So it's funny. So I pull up. Chuck looks at the Post note. Now he didn't say a word to me
No.
this whole time. Like even the punch and everything.
I mean, he looked funny at you a couple times.
Yeah, but not a word. So but anyway, so he looks at the note, looks at me, looks at the note, and literally shrugs his shoulders. He goes and signs it.
I think Chuck was game.
Yeah, he was.
He was
He
game.
looked at it. He went and he was confused. He looked at me. And I don't know if he thought maybe, I'm queer, and I thought he was the sexiest man alive, or if he got the joke that it was him calling me the sexiest man alive, or that I was. I don't know. He just shrugged his shoulders and went. It was funny because you could tell there was a little bit like, whatever, man, and handed me the book.
I don't know if I think Chuck is a brainiac of a man. I don't know that he's not.
I don't think he cared, to be honest. I mean, it was probably
he had so many things to
we
do
were
that day.
towards the end of the line too. We weren't like
We were hours deep in this.
We were
in this
3/4
day.
the way through, right?
Yeah.
I would say right at that 3/4. There was a
Yeah.
good amount of people behind us, but we were 3/4.
Yeah, we
through.
definitely weren't last.
Yeah,
and we
we-
were hours in.
We were definitely not
because
first.
he did a question and answer
Oh yeah,
beforehand.
yeah.
And
You made me ask a question.
yeah, I made so Antonio Banuelos. Anyway, used to be his roommate, and Chuck treated him poorly. He did Chuck's laundry. He lived with Chuck. He was a WEC fighter. I don't know if he ever made it to the champ, but whatever. He was a lighter weight too, and so I wanted to ask Chuck why he treated his roommate like a bitch.
on the Tap Out show.
Yeah, he was because it's on the Tap Out show because he was one of the Tap Out fighters, Antonio Banuelos, for that particular episode. Mask, rest in peace, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't want to ask. So Kevin just screams. He's like, "Yo, Chuck, why you treat your roommate like your bitch?" And Chuck ended up giving a really good
He did.
answer.
He
He'd be
did.
like, "No, we're friends, and that's what I pay him to do. And
Well, I
I
didn't
really
say we pay him. He's like, that's just how we
Well,
are.
he
He was
pays
like, you
him.
don't. Oh, you did pay.
Yeah, he pays him.
Okay, I don't remember saying
that.
pay him,
He's
but-
his assistant and
Okay.
was fighting at the same time, trying to
Gotcha.
break in.
I know he was like, we're buddies, and that's how we
he's
treat
like,
each
we're
other.
friends, and it was really comical.
It was funny because I had no idea what you were talking about, and like I was like, oh, okay. I was like, because it was rough, man.
But it did.
I had no
it did
idea.
garner. So this is my secret comedic genius. It did garner chuckles from the entire audience,
It did.
and because people must have watched the show as well. So anyway.
Plus, I asked him why you treated him like a
yeah,
like it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't like what do you think about fighting?
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
your mentality going in? Why are you so mean to your
Why are you
roommate,
so mean
man?
to your roomie?
Like it was kind of a weird question to ask. It was a great question.
It was great, and it my genius shows
Your
again.
cowardlessness.
My
no.
cowardice.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Next.
All right, next question. So this is pretty much an old faithful question, like one that kind of just exists in like the ether of the internet.
I only like you as a friend.
How many?
Oh,
How many 5-year-olds do you think you could fight
Oh, I don't know.
in one actual scrap? How many 5-year-olds do you think you could beat up?
So this is tough, right? Because cardio's my issue, right?
Well aware.
But I think laying on my
that
back.
shirt is indicative, and it's showing that there's going to be a cardio issue.
But I think laying on my back,
That was a
I
fat
could.
joke, by
I know
the
it
way.
was. I could take out a tight shirt joke. I get it. I think I could. I don't know. I can't quantify this number.
I need a guess. I mean, you can't just leave it at
I could go for about 45 minutes worth of fighting 5-year-olds.
how many?
I don't know.
I don't care about the time.
Is it like one after the other? Do I get them all at the time?
Give
I don't
me a
know.
number where if there was one more, you'd lose. But this one, without that one more, you'd actually win,
All right.
and you'd survive and win.
Let's see here. So I'd slow down at the end. Let's say 50. I said 45 minutes, a little more than one a minute. I think I could take out like 30 seconds, for a couple knees, couple big right hands.
Okay.
Right.
Would
But I think I would
you-
really slow down at the end. So even if there was like one, then the next, then the next, then the next, like they were Shark Tanking me, I think I could get to 50. 51, I think I'd just be spent.
I'm
I
pretty
think I'd let
sure.
him kill me.
I'm pretty sure I could take out 20 with just the first kid who comes close to me, and I got a hold of him and spin him around and hit a bunch of other little kids.
I
with
actually
him.
think that's a mistake. I
No.
think that those kids, 5-year-olds are
No.
heavy, man.
Yeah,
You get
no.
tired.
If I grab their arms, you've spun. You have little kids.
Hey,
You
hey,
grab their arms and spun them. You could spin them all day.
I mean, if
imagine hitting other kids
If
with
they're
them.
like circling me, like it's a Smash
Listen,
TV kind of thing,
they're
then
5-year-olds.
yeah.
They're definitely not coming one-on-one.
They probably are. They're gonna wait for the other one. They're
Well,
gonna
then
get scared.
wouldn't it be an infinite amount then if they just came one-on-one?
No, eventually I get tired. I'd be beat. I think eventually.
How many though?
I'm 50.
Like, think of that 50 one-on-one. Come
Yeah,
on.
I think after
You could do 50 in 10 minutes.
I don't know. I think
I think that number's in the hundreds for me.
I
If
don't
they're
know.
coming one-on-one,
I'm thinking
because it only takes one punch.
Well,
How many punches can you throw in
I guess
an
I'm,
hour?
I'm taking. Well, not too many. This is a problem. I'm thinking.
or a kick?
I think at first At first I'm thinking one every 30 seconds. Right, is what I'm thinking at first. Then I think it slows down to like one a minute.
It's going to take you 30 seconds to get rid of a single 5-year-old? The fuck is wrong with you? He's 5. You can tap adults who aren't good at jujitsu in less than 30 seconds.
Well,
it's going to take you 30.
Hold,
Listen,
I got
Jesus,
hold on,
you're
stop,
the
stop.
giantest
No,
pussy on the
See,
planet.
here's the problem. You're not
30
thinking
seconds
this, right?
for one 5-year-old.
I gotta knock him out, and then I gotta
fuck outta here.
reset and get to the other one. Then I gotta reset and get the other one. Right. So I'm being a little on the
How many
generous side.
punches do you think it's going to take to incapacitate a 12-year-old
first-
or a 5-year-old?
At first one, right? Then I'm concerned when I get past the first 20, it's going to take 2 or 3.
I'm still not over
right?
you saying 30 seconds to incapacitate a single 5-year-old.
I'm trying to round it up.
30 seconds?
I rounded it
Jesus.
up. Maybe 20.
You rounded it up by factors.
I don't-
Jesus Christ. I think 5 seconds a 5-year-old. Maybe less.
We got to average it over time. That's why I said 1 a minute. So maybe over time as I get tired, maybe 1 every 30 seconds, because at first it's going to be 5 seconds.
Let's time
and then it's
box
gonna
this to just be appropriate about it, right? Let's say in 1 hour, how many 5-year-olds you think you could dispose of? You said 1 a minute. That's only 60.
No, yeah. Well, now that I
One
know,
every 30 seconds is 120.
yeah.
1
to 20.
I told you that.
I'll say 120.
Get the fuck out of here.
You think it'd be way more?
I think you're in the hundreds. The multiples of hundreds.
I'm in the hundreds already. 120.
120. I think you're in the multiples
I have
of
no
hundreds.
idea. Like I don't beat small children like you.
I'm
so.
just I'm just saying I think with the appropriate strategy and the fact that, they're not even like fully formed people yet. Like
Why am I
you
more
could-
confident about beating up horses than I am children.
That's a good point.
I think
right?
maybe there's a
You
mental block.
thought-
I know
you
myself,
thought there
right?
was no problem beating
No, no, no,
100
no, 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 no.
duck-sized horses.
I did not say no problem.
Yeah, you said it was an 8, right?
No,
Or
no,
it
no, I said it was a 10.
That was, okay,
The
yeah,
8
that was
was
a 10.
the whatever the
Prairie
other-
Dogs.
Prairie Dogs, yeah. Prairie Dogs was an 8.
So you
No,
said
that-
it'd be hard, but you sure you win.
No, no,
so
no,
you're
no,
only
no,
gonna,
no, no. I said I was sure I'd beat the prairie dogs. I'm not sure I'd beat the horses, but I think that's better
so
than the
you really
big ass duck.
think,
I don't know.
First of all, you fucking flabbergast me, okay?
I honestly don't know.
One
I just- I don't-
5-year-old every 30 seconds?
I think I get. Yeah, I think. Oh,
The
now
fuck
that
are you
we've talked
talking
about
about?
it, now that we've talked about it in an hour, I think the first 20 minutes, I'd be knocking them out. After a while, I'd be tired. Honestly, I'd be done. I'm like, I'm exhausted. I'd have to pace myself to be smart about it. So I think I'd be smart and I'd pace myself, right? Plus, I mean, if I could hit
So give me a
5-year-olds,
number.
I'm hitting 2 of them. I'm hitting them twice, even when I
So
don't
how-
need to.
Then
120.
you're just wasting an opportunity to fight another 5-year. Why would you hit him twice?
Because sometimes that second shot is worth it, right? I'd rather hit you twice and it's two you and your brother once, right? I'll be honest. If I had my choice, because it's like fighting you twice, right?
So
So I'd rather hit you twice
So
than
let's
you
say-
once and your brother
let's
once.
say
Yeah.
in that hour, you would get $10,000 if you got 200 of them dead. Would you be able to hit? Do you think you'd be able to like attack and win against 200
Yeah,
5-year-olds?
you got some motivation
For
in
money?
there.
Yeah. You don't
yeah.
think you still get tired though?
Oh, I get tired, but that's a lot of money.
Okay, fair enough,
Yeah.
dude. I'm thinking at minimum 300 to 400 for me, at minimum. And then we're just talking hand-to-hand combat.
Here's the
We're
problem.
not talking about
Here's the problem. I don't know if in an hour, I don't know if in period straight, I don't know if I can throw 300 punches or
But
150 punches, 150 kicks. Hard. I don't think I could. I think I'd be beat. I don't, I'm fat.
I think with one, if I grabbed the first one and I just did a couple spins with him, I'm pretty sure I could take out 10 to 15
well,
in
I
that
guess
one shot.
I guess
Right, so that's 15 in 10 seconds.
yeah, I guess if there's a big group of them sitting around, I could probably just run into it. I could probably just belly flop on a bunch of them, like
And there's nothing saying that, we're talking strategy here.
I guess
I really do think they're 5-year-olds.
right.
They'll be lucky to even walk to you without falling one time.
Listen, you forgot what it's like to get punched in the nuts by one of those guys. It's been a long time.
There's some strategy behind this. We're not just talking about like you going willy-nilly, because I think you'd probably lose if you just tried to like non-strategy.
I think. See, this is where I think. I think.
You said 120.
I'll
you
be honest.
fucking disgusting.
I think you would get cocky and get hit in the nuts.
Nope.
Maybe
Nope.
10 minutes
No,
in.
there's no question.
Oh, for sure.
It's
For
not
sure.
even debatable.
Oh yeah, you would definitely get hit in the nuts.
350, almost 400.
You don't make it 30 minutes without getting punched in the nuts because you got cocky.
Not concerned
Yeah,
at
for
all.
sure.
No,
No, I can tell by the way you're talking about it now.
not concerned at all.
Those fucking 5-year-olds are gonna
You're
fuck
the one
you.
who said it's going to take me 30 seconds to kill a 5-year-old. Get the fuck out of here.
That's because I'm smart and patient about
Get
it.
out of here.
You're gonna get sloppy.
You don't think one karate chop to like the throat of a 5-year-old is just going to drop him immediately? How's it going to take you 30 seconds to walk up to a 5-year-old as a fucking adult? Sure, you're creepy and they're going to run anyway, right? Pedophiles, help me, right? You're going to be. They're
You
going
ever
to
see
be.
me walk? We talked about this with a mule question. I'm pretty
It ain't
slow.
going
I'm
to take
just-
you 30 seconds to run up to a 5-year-old and karate chop him
not
in the
right
neck.
away, but after a while, I'm gonna get tired. Halfway through, it's gonna take longer. So I may get 10 seconds at first. Once I
10
hit,
seconds? Bro, it takes you less than a second to throw a karate chop.
well, I still gotta walk up to him. You just said that.
Okay, so 2 seconds total to
I don't-
incapacitate one
But
5-year-old.
there's a website that has an algorithm to help out with this.
Hundreds.
I don't know.
You said 120.
I don't.
Dude, you're a big bitch.
That's probably why I said 120.
Oh my god.
Listen,
all right.
If
all
those
right.
aliens are
I'm moving on to
5-year-olds,
the
we're
next
fucked.
question. You're a dumbass. I'm moving on to the next question. Jesus Christ. You'd rather beat 100 fucking duck-sized horses than fucking try to win against 120 5-year-olds. Get the fuck out of here.
I'd say rather. You just said how many?
All right. If you're walking through the woods and you see a bobcat, okay?
Uh-huh.
You are only walking through the woods. You didn't prepare.
Okay.
You have no weaponry
Yeah.
of any kind other than what you can forage
Sure.
in the woods on your stroll. And the bobcat wants to throw down.
Okay.
Do you fight it? And if
No.
you don't really have a choice.
Okay.
If you had a choice, you're not going to fight
Right, of course.
it. What would be your strategy on the bobcat? Would you try to? And I'm going to just ask a probing question. Would you try to lure it to like
Stop.
a ledge?
I got you. Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. No. I would be a long stick, right?
Okay,
Tree
so you'd
branch.
find- yeah.
Something. If I know being able to sharpen it may be tough, right? Unless if it's
I don't know that you have the time to
Yeah, yeah,
whittle a tip on the edge of your
So
spear.
I'd be looking at a long stick, and I know they can climb, and I would look for an easy tree to climb, right? So the idea would be it's
but
one entry point.
they can climb,
Correct.
and they're probably exponentially faster climbers than
Correct.
you are.
I'm imagining first thing would be long stick, right? That's the first thing I would grab.
Sure, okay.
I'd look
makes
for a
sense.
long stick, keep it away, right?
in a rock, a big like a
big
stick
rock,
in one hand
yeah.
and a rock in the other.
I would go with big stick or a rock, right?
Okay.
Actually, a big rock would help as well. Something, you know what I mean? One shot, kill it.
Would you
kind of thing,
would
but
you
I-
attempt to grab multiple rocks so you could throw them at them and like keep a distance, or would you try to like
Mm-mm.
strategically position yourself where rocks might be available?
I think strategically, I think big stick to keep it away so I can get to where big rocks are. I
Okay.
don't know. I wouldn't want to. I'd want to. No rock smaller than like that would be like that. I'd want to hit something with, right?
Okay.
So I wouldn't want to throw a bunch of like baseball sized rocks at it,
Yeah,
right? And too hard to hit, and then you got to pick it up and reload.
Yep.
Right. The plan would be get a stick, poke it, keep it away, or get something like a big heavy rock, and I don't want to get close to it, but if we're close to it, right on the side of the head. But honestly, the idea would be if I could get to a tree, say there's one of those easy trees to climb.
Yeah.
Around, I would get up top because again, it's gonna come up the tree, and that gives me the
But
ability.
you think
hold on,
it's-
that gives me the ability to hit it with a stick, hopefully in the eye or
But
something.
what makes
like
you
that.
think you're going to be able to
Or-
get to the top of the tree before it catches you?
It's got to be really close, right? Again, we got a situational here. Those are again. You're just.
Those things move at like 30 miles an hour.
I don't know how far away this thing is.
Bobcats are nimble as fuck.
Listen, I'm just telling you.
You're not nimble.
No,
Right?
again, it's not necessary, but those are the things that I'd be looking
Dude,
for.
it's
Big
like
stick,
it would be like if
right?
like John
Big
Candy or
stick.
John Goodman's trying to climb a tree.
Big
That's what it's
stick.
like for you.
Decent sized rock, one like big enough that I could, you know what I mean, that would be super heavy, but not something I have to be able to move it around, right? And then high ground, right? High ground, and you said before, so I thought tree, right? I'd want the high ground, right? So in some way that I essentially could. There's only one way for it to come and get me.
But don't
so I can prepare
bobcats
for
jump
it.
from trees
I don't.
into other trees?
I don't know if it's going to be smart enough to get to another tree to get me. I don't know anything about bobcats. I'm assuming it's going to run up the same tree that I got up.
I like to think of them as like pretty like top of the pile predators.
Yeah, I don't.
And,
I don't know.
like, they capture like
I don't know.
shit all the time.
I don't know
Bro,
if they jump.
you'd look like a big ass piece of bacon to a
Oh,
bobcat.
yeah.
It'd be fucking
I'd
delicious.
be a rump roast.
You remember who Uncle Buck was? Remember the movie Uncle Buck?
Yeah.
Remember John Goodman?
Yeah. So
Or
John Candy. John Candy.
Sorry, John Candy.
Yeah, John Candy.
John Candy. He's dead. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
It'd be like John Candy trying to climb a tree fighting a bobcat. That's what he would remind me of.
That's fair.
And with your knack for snacks, like this would be a challenge. So I do agree with you wholeheartedly that I would probably look to obtain some form of long stick weaponry.
Distance
And,
maintenance is going to be number
distance,
one.
yes.
Distance maintenance.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Again,
And
that's where I think high ground.
Do you feel like you would like talk to it? Like you stay back there, you motherfucker, or do you think you'd be?
Oh
silent?
yeah, for sure. I'm not saying it'd be effective, but oh yeah, no, man, you gotta go, you gotta go.
Oh, hey.
I'd probably throw something too to hopefully
Right,
like
right,
scare it or
distract it. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think you'd make like noises to try to like get it away from you? Like waha.
I'm not-
Remember
Yeah.
when Pee Wee Herman in Pee Wee's Big Adventure was walking after he got out of the bar and he's walking through the alley and some guy like rolls up on him and he goes.
No, I
You
don't
think you'd
remember
try
that.
to like scare
I would.
scare
I
it
try
away?
to like the bear thing, make myself as big as possible. But
Doesn't take much on that one.
no, it's like hey, it probably wouldn't want to fuck with me. If I didn't shave, I'd be like, that's a bear, motherfucker. Like, no, it's a fat dude.
That's a big ass bear.
It's a small bear, but it's still a bear.
Okay, I got another one.
Okay.
If you had to fight a 20, these are all about you fighting something, by the way.
Things that I should never be fighting.
If you had to
Small
fight a
children.
20-year-old chimpanzee or a 60-year-old gorilla, which one do you think you fight? Or that
60-year-old gorilla.
that gorilla's finna fuck you up.
So are those chimpanzees. Like chimpanzees are
you don't
nuts.
think a 60-year-old gorilla's just gonna grip you up and throw down?
So I don't think gorillas live for much longer than 40 years. So we're talking geriatric, right? Honestly, I
Okay.
think they're
All right.
towards the end of their life.
But you don't like a 20-year-old chimpanzee. You think is just gonna fuck you up?
Oh, it'll fuck me up for sure.
So you'd pick the old gorilla.
Old gorilla,
thinking you
yeah,
have a chance.
Yeah. Best old age, right? Maybe it's slow, it's fat. You know what I mean? We're on the same page.
Aren't all gorillas fat? I mean, they all look fat to me.
I mean,
And I'm not talking
fat
about
for a
like
gorilla.
I'm not talking about one of those like catcher's mitt orangutan looking things.
No, I know what you're talking about.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna go with 60-year-old gorilla. Maybe I could sign language to it. Like Coco.
What the fuck is this, Congo? Amy
Amy
hungry.
bad.
Yeah. Nice, well done.
There you go.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the age. That's it. So
Okay, so
and
you're
again,
just gonna play the decrepit factor and,
Yeah.
and hope that
yeah.
it's got arthritis or something.
Yeah. That's the only that's the only chance I got. Right. I would still go with the gorilla either way. Because I
So why
don't think gorillas, again, we'll go back to the tree thing. I don't think gorillas are as good at climbers as chimpanzees. So my only hope is to get somewhere high.
Motherfucker, that
As good at
you
climbers.
do realize that
As good at climbers.
monkeys in general,
I
like
got
all
you.
monkeys, all things that you might even
again,
consider a monkey,
listen.
things that might look like monkeys, are all probably
I-
exponentially better
I get
climbers
you.
than you.
You're asking which one, not like, oh, do I
I'm
have
just-
a chance?
I'm
I'm dying
not-
either way.
Listen.
Like, it's over with.
I don't expect you to give me some bullshit fucking answer.
No.
Kevin, this is like, you're like, oh, I'm going to climb a tree against a fucking monkey.
What
That
else am I
monkey-
gonna do?
Dude, that monkey's going to kick
What
the
am I gonna
shit out of
do?
you. It's going to grab you with all 4 of its
What am I-
arms,
what am I-
and it's going to fucking rip you in half.
What am I going to use my jab for
Listen.
distance management and maybe hit it with a
Hey,
leg kick?
Everyone,
Fuck no.
everyone in podcast world, Kevin said his defense to fight a 60-year-old monkey is to climb a fucking tree. How stupid!
gorilla.
Whatever, a
Gorilla.
gorilla, a 60-year-old gorilla. He
I'm
said,
not
you know
sure-
what? I'm going to climb a tree.
I'm not sure gorillas are known for climbing.
It's a fucking. It doesn't matter. I guarantee it's a faster
You-
climber than you.
What? So, but it's slower climber
What?
than a
So,
chimpanzee.
Listen, what makes you
Chimpanzee.
think? You know what? You're like, hey,
They stop and they beat their chest for a few minutes, and
60-year-old.
that's, I'm gone.
60-year-old gorilla.
You know that
what?
fight or flight? They're gonna fight. I'm gonna fight like a motherfucker.
You ain't climbing a tree faster than that gorilla finna wreck you.
He's gonna be beating his chest like a King Kong and shit for a minute, like because he
Listen.
knows he's gonna win, right? He's toying with me, right? Yeah,
Listen.
and they're smart. They know he's gonna. I'm gonna fuck with this motherfucker, and that's where I'm gonna use to my advantage. To he doesn't realize how much of a coward I am, right? You ever see a scared white guy run?
All my friends out in podcast world, this is disgusting. Okay, Kevin said my escape from a monkey
No.
is to climb a fucking tree
a
or a
tree
gorilla. I'm gonna
or
climb a tree.
something. I'm gonna get up. I gotta get away from
What
everything.
the fuck are you gonna do? Like
No, what am I
scale a
gonna-
mountain?
what-
You
What
mean get
option
up?
is better? Excuse me. What option is better?
I think you go
Besides
back
a
to
gun.
I think you go back to potentially finding some kind of like long stick weaponry.
So he could take it from me? You know when you're a kid,
Dude,
remember
this is
you like he's
fucking
when he's
ridiculous.
3 and they pick up like the plastic golf club and they start swinging at you and you just grab it real fast and pull it out of their hands and then
I
yell
know.
at them. That's what the monkey would do, right?
But there's a reason
Like,
you
but instead of
selected
spanking
the
me,
60-year-old monkey.
But instead of spanking me, it would rip off my face.
Oh,
That's what would happen.
Kevin.
No, yeah, I'm
Kevin.
distance management.
You've
I'm-
never thought about how you would like fight like woodland creatures or like forest kings and things like that? You never like thought about this beforehand?
I run away. I
You
run
aren't-
away.
You aren't outrunning a goddamn gorilla.
I-
You ain't out climbing a goddamn gorilla. You ain't outrunning. You got to like think about. Listen, it's close quarters combat. I
ain't
got
close quarter combat in
I
a
gotta
gorilla.
do some kind of
No.
distance management.
No, yeah, distance management. Me get
Long
only chance
stick
I get.
weaponry.
Only chance I get is he's like, I'm also
Are
too
you
fat.
are
to
you
run.
the kind of guy who carries like a pocket knife on you at all times? I
No.
know a lot of people who are. I
No.
don't either.
No.
So-
Maybe if I'm in the woods, I might. I don't. I haven't been in the woods in a
but
long
you
time.
don't. If you were hiking, you might. You think?
Maybe, yeah.
All right.
If I'm going,
I mean,
on
that was the bobcat question. Like this one, I don't expect like it's more like a jungle if you're fighting like gorillas and monkeys. But
or I'm in the zoo for some reason.
or you accidentally like fell over the edge in the zoo. Like
Yeah,
people who
60-year-old gorilla. Right. That's what I'm gonna go with. And
I still
just because
think
of the age.
it's fucking ridiculous. You think of climbing a tree against
I just think of
goddamn
climbing
6-year-old
anything.
gorilla.
I'm gonna get up high anywhere. That's my plan. Is to get away where it can't reach me. I'm gonna say it's gonna work, but I don't. I think
What the fuck makes you think you're gonna? You
think you're
are gonna get somewhere where a monkey can't get you in a tree?
it's not a monkey. It's a gorilla.
Not the same difference.
No, it's not the same
Dude,
difference.
what makes you think a gorilla won't be able to just do exactly what the fuck you do, but 3 times better, 10 times better,
It
and
can.
climb the same fucking tree as
We
you?
said 60-year-old. I'm hoping he's lazy. He's smart. He's like, that ain't worth
It's
it.
still a goddamn
That dude's
gorilla.
too fat. He's not. He don't have enough.
Oh,
Good meat on him.
fuck. Jesus
I-
Christ!
Listen,
I think I'd take my hand at the chimpanzee. I think I
you're
would.
an
No,
idiot.
I think I
Oh.
would. Nope.
you got to Google some videos with chimpanzee
I
fighting
think- no,
people.
You know what? Listen, I'm not afraid.
You're wrong.
I don't
you
think.
should be.
No.
Listen.
I think I'd give it a shot.
You know they used to
I
say,
think I have the best chance.
you don't have to be afraid. You're still gonna die.
That's fine. I think I have the best chance. I think a gorilla gets one of his 4 appendages on me, and I think I'm kind of screwed. But I think I might be able to.
You can't fight off a chimpanzee.
I
If
might.
it grabs you, you're fucked.
It's fine.
Oh,
I
their
got,
strength. No,
that's
they're-
fine. I got.
they might
I mean,
be
it's not
stronger
like
than
gonna break my
gorillas.
bones.
like pound for pound. I think they are.
I don't know about that. The gorillas. I mean, there's a significant size difference, and I just for some reason I feel like I'm going to take the smaller size and give it a shot.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake. I think you got to go the bigger one. I think I think it
Do
gives you
think
the ability to get away.
Like, what if it was a girl monkey or a girl gorilla? Do you think you try to like woo it into a false sense of like sexual attention, and then maybe try to take advantage of it after like it fell in love with you?
No, I'm just running away.
Got it. Okay.
No.
Last
I
question.
like the call though. I
Yeah,
like the idea.
I'm
but
thinking about it. Let me run through this list because I think I got maybe one or two questions left for you. Imagine. Let's go back to the sex life topic.
Okay.
If you had to choose and identify yourself as some kind of sexual characteristic, what do you think it might be?
Sexual characteristics? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
like for example, I sexually identify as an attack helicopter because I'm fucking amazing, right? I mean, that's just it's what I identify as sexually.
Okay.
As an attack helicopter. And like
Helicopters are like the most unsafe way of air travel, right? They're
That's
prone
how-
to crash. So you're like
That's how I roll.
Okay.
I just let Jesus
Either-
take the wheel and see how it
Either
goes.
it's the best thing in the world or the worst thing in the world. Right? All right.
Yeah. Yep. So
It's either Rambo or Black Hawk Down, one or the other. Right?
It's Rambo from the later movies, not Rambo from the early movies where he was going through like mental problems. It's like Rambo.
I meant he's an effective killer.
Gotcha.
Or you're crash landing.
Yeah.
And you're surrounded by enemy
Yeah.
territory.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
It's just Rambo in general,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
You're probably a little nuts in bed.
I mean, you know what I mean? What do you think? Like, what do you identify as sexually?
Attack helicopter? What the fuck does that even mean?
Just, you know what? That's just how I take it. You know what I mean? Because when you're going to war, right, and you're doing an aerial assault, you send in the Blackhawks and you send in the helicopters. And sometimes they bring friends, sometimes they don't.
Well,
right? So that's...
Sure. So as
and
you
they
know,
come equipped with some serious artillery, and that's how I feel like that's how I sexually identify, as an attack helicopter.
so as you know, I'm married with
Correct.
3 children.
Correct.
Right. So if I'm gonna have to pick anything, I would say Sasquatch. Right. Everybody says it's there, but nobody can prove it. It's kind of like my sex life.
Is this because your manscaping abilities are subpar? I do remember the vasectomy story, right? So are we... Sasquatch. Are you talking about like Harry and the Hendersons kind of Sasquatch? Or are you talking about like a non-mythical or movie created version?
Like it doesn't exist.
Mm,
Everybody says it exists. I'm telling you, I'm having sex, but it's not real.
so you're a liar. Got it. You don't think Sasquatch exists? Bigfoot?
No.
You watch all those like chasing Bigfoot shows on like the History Channel and shit?
I watched a few of them. I don't
Yeah.
watch them a lot. But
You don't believe that there's like some mythical Sasquatch? You don't think that they're like smart enough where they can just
no,
avoid?
not.
You don't
No.
think they're smarter than we are?
I even though they're smarter than we are,
Wouldn't
I
that be a logical conclusion or a logical reason of why we haven't found them yet? Is because they police their own brass, they find their own bones, and they clean up after themselves when someone dies, and then they're just smarter than us and don't want to be found?
I don't think there's enough territory to where they're from that we wouldn't have stumbled upon them or had a little more proof, right? I just don't think.
There's circumstantial proof.
No,
Not real.
No, it's
It's circumstantial.
yeah. I
mean,
just
there's
don't
no
there's enough,
substance
right?
behind
I
it.
just don't. The shows that I've seen and stuff like that, there's just not enough substance behind it for me to think the Sasquatch is real.
Because you haven't done like any independent research on Google or anything, and
Just
about
the
this?
shows. Just the shows I
Okay,
watch.
so-
I'll be honest. I've like watched 1 or 2 documentaries.
oh, see, so documentaries are a little more forthcoming than
Yeah,
the chasing Bigfoot shows.
It might have been like a chasing Bigfoot. I don't know what it was.
I think
One
it's
time I was
possible.
out of town. I was really bored and I found it on YouTube and I watched it. Okay.
I think it's possible that there could be some kind of
I'm not saying they didn't exist, right? I'm saying they no longer exist.
extinct if they did.
Yeah, correct. Then maybe they're extinct. Fair.
Like,
I'm just calling that out. If you said, oh, they existed at one time, now they're extinct, I could see where you can make that argument. But I don't think they're around anymore,
interesting,
right?
puzzling.
And I think if they were ever around, they died out 18th century at the latest.
You're just fucking making up dates and like throwing them out
No,
there for no reason whatsoever.
I'm just saying.
There's
they've
no
been gone for a long
there's
time.
no critical historical basis for anything you just said.
Actually,
The
no.
18th century? Did you just fucking pull that?
1800s. So, because I think it was in the 1900s.
Blah,
right?
blah, blah, blah.
You're right. I did.
Back the fuck
I
up
did.
before you
You're
get
right.
smacked
I got
the
it.
fuck up.
You're right.
You said the 18th
I
century
did.
is the
You're right.
1800s?
No, I said that, but I'm wrong.
Jesus Christ. Kevin.
1800s. The reason why I said they die out sometime in the 1800s, right? Because if they made it to the 1900s, I
So
think
the 19th century.
yes.
Got it. Following.
Yeah. My bad.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think we would. I think technology had come along far enough that we would have found more evidence that would have proved that they were around, right? I think anytime before then. I think that's at the latest.
What if they've just always been smarter than us?
No, I
And there's
think,
no chance you could have found them because they.
even if they're smarter than us, I still think I think we're lucky enough, right? And we're dumb enough that we do a bunch of stupid exploring. We would have found enough evidence to that had more of a smoking gun than we do have now.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's because they're not smarter than us and they don't do a great job of hiding. We would have stumbled upon something by now. More of a smoking gun. That's all.
Okay. Last question. A lion and a tiger are fighting.
Okay.
Who wins and why?
Tigers. They're stronger and faster, actually. The king of the jungle thing's a myth.
I think you're full of shit. I think you're fucking
Google
full
it.
of shit. I don't know that Google will tell me that a tiger would win. Google might tell me, it might tell me exactly what you just said. I don't know.
Well, one's from a jungle. One,
one.
I guess it would probably be, whose home terrain are we on? Right? If we're in the jungle with the tiger, we got to go with the tiger. We're in the open area. I'm still going with the tiger, but I can see where the lion would, in the savannah. Right? I think so.
I'll give you that.
African savannah, yeah.
The Sahara?
What's the savannah? Is
I
that
don't
just a
know.
name? I think it was
I don't
savannah.
know. Isn't that it? I don't know.
I
Isn't
don't
that
know.
in Florida?
I'm going with tiger, maybe.
You're going with tiger.
I'm
Okay.
going with tiger.
I'm going with lion. I'm
Okay.
going with female lion. If you're asking me to be specific, you were too
No,
good.
no,
Female
no,
lion.
no.
Dude, because they're way more aggressive.
Yeah, I'm so
Way
good,
more.
but the
Way
male
more
lions are, I think, physically more dominating.
Mm.
So yeah,
Mm.
I'm gonna go with tiger. Male tiger.
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong.
Tiger claw.
You guys aren't watching this on YouTube. You need to because Kevin just tiger clawed the camera.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'm going with tiger.
let me just take a quick second to run through my list
Please.
again and see if I have any. Oh, I do got one more.
Oh,
Sorry,
man.
I lied. If you had to define for me,
Okay.
and this is more like let's get to know Kevin, your unique talent that you think you can do better than like other people can do, like besides being late, which is a phenomenal talent of yours. Like, hey, I need you to be there at 4:00. Kevin's rolling it at 4:15, no matter what. And you know what's even worse is you tell Kevin 3:45, so he gets there at 4. He still shows up at 4:15.
Yeah.
So it's like fucking black magic here with Kevin's ability to be on time.
To be late.
Like he just knows. It's like a sixth sense for
Yeah.
him. So do you have a unique talent that you like feel like, you know what, I do this better than some people?
I can accept that I'm mediocre at everything better than anybody else in the world can. I understand that.
You're just the best at being average.
I'm at the best at accepting that I'm average or below. Like I'm not even
So
the
you
best.
don't have anything that you feel like, you know what, I'm pretty good at this. And
No.
I'd stack my chips up against anybody else.
No, honestly, I
Nothing.
really don't. It's kind of sad, right, when I think about it. But I've learned to accept it. Right? There's nothing. I'll be honest. There's probably nothing that makes me special, except for the fact that I have enough realization that I'm not special, and I'm okay with that.
Interesting.
I'm just happy with what I am, and let's move on. I don't have anything.
I'm pretty confident that I feel like I'm really good at finding Waldo in those Where's Waldo books.
Mm.
Like I think I could stack up with
Did you ever beat the
some-
NES game, the Nintendo game?
What did you call it?
NES, the NES game.
Do people actually call it Ness?
Yeah.
No, the fuck they don't.
Yeah, they do. They don't call it too much anymore because the guy from there's a character named Ness from oh my gosh,
Listen.
oh god, I just forgot it. It's a freaking great RPG. Oh,
Don't just fucking make up words.
Oh.
It's always been the NES. Like what game consoles? NES.
yeah. People say
Nobody ever
people,
fucking said
people
NES.
Said NES. Yeah,
You
NES is
might
from-
have.
No, it's definitely out there.
It's not.
It is.
I don't think it is. Listen, like people listening, please. Can you post in the YouTube comments or at least somewhere else? Like nobody calls it NES.
I'm gonna be so mad. I can't remember
NES.
Ness. He's from because he's in the Smash Bros game. I can't remember the RPG.
Did you call the Super Nintendo SNES?
Huh?
Did you call it SNES?
No, I call that SNES. but-
Oh,
No, I actually called it Super Nintendo.
I think I called it Super Nintendo too.
Yeah,
but the
yeah.
SNES is
Yeah,
a much
yeah.
more like familiar colloquial
Yeah.
saying for that, right?
Yeah.
Nobody ever called it NES, you idiot.
No, for sure.
Nobody did.
No, for sure they did. Yeah. It wasn't as popular as the
Nobody
NES.
did.
Yeah,
The
for sure.
NES.
They
Hey,
didn't
what
say the
game
NES.
console? What game console? I'm
The
gonna go
NES.
play NES a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. It didn't stick around as long, but I guarantee it's out there. I guarantee it.
I can't take you today.
You were gonna
Jesus
listen,
Christ.
I'm gonna find some old YouTube channels from like the
NES.
Game Pro TV show,
NES.
and I'll send them along.
He said, "Did you ever play the game on NES? The NES game?
It's actually a Super Nintendo game that I was talking. Wait,
So the SNES game?
no. Wait, which I forgot what game I was originally talking about here. I totally forgot where this was going.
Oh my god!
What was the
Anywho,
question again?
I don't even remember now. You got me.
What was really the last
your
question?
unique talent.
Oh, yeah.
When we were talking about your
yeah.
unique talent.
Oh, yeah, and you said Waldo, and then I asked you
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the NES
and
game.
the NES game. Like,
Where's Waldo?
where's Waldo? Yeah.
Classic. Except for the last board's like a
Is
slot
it just
machine.
a game of finding Waldo?
Yeah, it's super hard, though, because it's a
I
Nintendo
felt like
game.
I was pretty good at that.
Yeah.
Like, not. I don't know that I'd like.
You don't know how
world
terrible that?
championship level, but I'm pretty good at it.
Every once in a while I can do it, but the posters you got to get cross-eyed at and see. Speaking of the 90s, I'm terrible at those. Those are hard.
The ones with like the things that pop out at you.
Yeah, and what makes me mad, it's not that I can't do them, because every once in a while I get it, right? So if I could just never do it, I probably could accept it, but I'm like at 5%. So when it works, I'm really excited. When it doesn't, I'm just mad at myself. I think that's the worst part. If I just couldn't do it, it would be easy to accept. But the fact that I know I can, I just can't do it consistently. It kind of brought into my challenge.
With like a learning disability or something. I'm just like, all you have to do is go cross-eyed. That's like it. Like, hey, how do you do this super magical thing and see this super? You fucking cross your eyes.
I guess.
And you're like, I can't go cross-eyed.
The cross-eyed doesn't come to easy to me as it does to you. I guess. Benefit of not having to wear glasses. I don't just take them off and go all across the eyes.
Jesus Christ.
I don't look like the dude from those Adam Sandler movies.
Fair enough. Fair enough. He does got some beady ass eyes. That dude.
There's one he's actually got cross eyes.
Oh, nice.
Can't remember.
Mr.
Deeds, I think, maybe? He's delivering the pizza to him.
I don't know that one.
That's the one he gets all the money.
So, guys, I asked Kevin a lot of questions today. And aside from the fact that Kevin's fucking stupid and he would try to climb a tree against a fucking 60-year-old gorilla.
60-year-old gorilla, for sure.
I'm still questioning I'm going to climb the tree against a bobcat, too. But
high ground. Tree, because you said forest. I went to tree, but rock formation, right? Or Panama rocks or something. I don't know. Getting high.
I do agree that finding some long form weaponry would be a good strategy for distance management. I'm still like significantly questioning the whole I'm gonna climb a tree against a monkey. What the fuck out of here.
Not a monkey, it's a gorilla.
Whatever.
It's different things.
Whatever.
That's why I'm not fucking with a chimpanzee. Those things are crazy. They ripped the woman's face off like
it's fine.
Maybe 10 years
ago now. She wasn't
prepared.
You're
never prepared.
If I'm going in prepared,
I
think I have a chance.
No, not a chance.
I think I have a chance.
Not a chance. Can someone please
I can rear naked choke it. I think
you have a better chance of winning a cycling event.
You know what? Speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up, you bitch. Right? I'm glad you brought that up. So last podcast, we talked about what it would take, like if I stopped doing everything that I'm doing right now and I switched over to cycling.
No. You said cycling. You didn't say train cycling.
6 months of training cycling.
Oh, 6 months.
6 months of preparation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If I stop what I'm doing and I train cycling for 6 months.
Yeah.
Right. Do I think I could be better than the bottom 25%? That means
no. We said, could you beat people who we ended talking it out?
Who done 4 events a year.
Competitively did 4 events a year.
You did not say competitive. We just said 4 events a year because we tried to put some stipulations.
Fair enough.
Could I be better than the bottom 25%? And the answer is unequivocally yes, I could.
No. But the people who are actually inventing, we
somebody
said 4
posted on our Facebook that even if we turn this into running and not cycling, that I could easily fucking do it.
Not the people that are doing it. I think cycling is going to be a little bit harder than the running would be for you.
Bro, you're riding a bike.
I don't listen.
You pedal.
Listen, your cousin who made just terrible jokes on it. He's a cycler. I'd like him.
Don't care.
6
months, I'll rape him.
I will put money on it that you couldn't. 6 months
in a cycling event.
Yeah, 6. No way.
6 months.
No way.
No problem. So you think he's better than he's in the top 75 percentile of biking?
No, I don't. I bet he's. Yeah, I bet he rapes. I bet he kills you, and he's not even close to that top. He'd probably tell you he's not close to that percentage.
Nope, not even concerned about it. Now, I may be willing to stipulate that I might lose to a senior in wrestling. I might be willing to concede.
That's only because everybody told you that's what was going to happen.
No, nobody told me that I would get walloped. They said it would
lose.
That it would be challenging.
Because they were being nice to you.
No, they weren't. They were being very they were being accurate in their assessment that they just know that I'm not much of a wrestler right now. I don't think I get walloped. I really don't. I think I get taken down a few times. I don't think I don't think I get ravaged.
Once a minute is I think what I told you.
Yeah, you said once a minute.
Yeah.
I don't think it happens.
Like you're a 5-year-old.
I don't think a 3-minute round I get taken down
3 times.
It's possible.
Easy.
I don't think so. Not with 6 months of dedicated training to avoid that. I don't think I get taken down 3 times. And it'd be wrestling. Now, in wrestling, not like a jiu-jitsu wrestling match.
Sure, yeah.
Like wrestling.
Yeah.
It's possible. It's possible.
For sure. It's not possible.
It's possible.
That wrestler would beat you like he was a chimpanzee. Rip your face off.
No. Yeah, why don't I go fucking climb a tree against a monkey? Jesus Christ.
A gorilla. And a bobcat.
Anyway, everybody out in podcast world, after Kevin's fucking stupid ass answers, be on the lookout for the next episode. Thanks, guys.